Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I am the owner and creator here at All Things All Happy. And in today's tutorial, we're going to be working on some resin dominoes. This tutorial is a little different than the last one that I made because we are not going to be using glitter. We're going to be using mica powder and some alcohol inks. And we're also going to be embellishing these dominoes with some glass rhinestones. So I hope you join me as we get these dominoes started. To get started, I did warm up my heating mat. I got this off of Amazon, and I think I put the temperature to about 74 degrees. I'm going to cover it with a silicone mat. Then I'm going to place my dominoes on top of them. I'm going to begin filling each cavity of the dominoes with some baby powder. I just use regular Johnson & Johnson baby powder. I find that when you prep your mold with the baby powder, it prevents little air pockets, little air bubble holes. So I like to do this. Your domino comes out nice and smooth. And you do want to make sure that you are filling all around the mold. I'm just going to repeat this for every domino on the 2 trays. Once I finish prepping the mold, I'm going to take this to a garbage can and just tap out all the excess powder. Once you've tapped out the excess, I'm just going to go around one more time with another brush and just kind of get rid of that white film look. We do want the baby powder in there, but we don't need that whole film look. As you can see how I'm wiping it and it goes from a white to just a pink. That's what we want. It's going to go around, and I'm just going to do this to both molds. All right, once you have that nice and cleared out, I like to go ahead and just make sure that my dominoes are level. And just do this all the way down, just to make sure that the surface is nice and level. So when I'm pouring my epoxy, it doesn't just go to one side. All right, this is perfect. Going to be using some Amazing Clear Cast Plus from Illuminite. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pour 110 of part A and 110 of part B. So I have 220 mLs of resin here, and I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to stir this until it's nice and clear. All right, once it's mixed, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to put some resin dye in. A few drops of this. This I got on Amazon, a bunch of them. And then I'm going to put a few spoonfuls, these tiny little spoons, of mica powder. You get any color you like. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stir this. Once I have it all nice and mixed, I'm going to begin pouring. And you just want to pour slowly. You don't want to overfill yet. You just want to make sure all your dominoes are nice and filled. Then you can go back and fill up the mold. I'm just going to go ahead and do this to both trays. Once you finish filling up your molds, you can just go back and then just touch up any that need just a little bit more height. Nice and slow, not too much. You wait just a little bit, you'll see little micro bubbles begin to form at the top. We're just gonna let those form for a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spray them with some alcohol, and then they'll just disappear. It helps pop all the bubbles that come to the surface. I would just wait a couple minutes after you spray that alcohol, just in case a little bit more begin to form. Then you can spray that as well. And if they look good and they're good to go, then you're just going to leave them and let them sit here. I let them sit for 24 hours before I touch them. It's been 24 hours, and now I'm going to demold these. They look really good. Awesome. There are no pocket holes anywhere. which means we had no air bubbles. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to demold these 2 trays. This actually came out really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean around the edges, all around these edges. So what I have here is a deburring tool. I showed this in my last domino video that I did. It's actually a really cool tool because it easily takes off all the excess epoxy around the edges without scraping it or making it look scratched. A lot of people use the sanding blocks to sand the edges of the dominoes to clear it up, but I find that it scuffs it and it makes it look scratchy and white, and this just takes it right off and there's like nothing. There's no discoloration. And it's really simple. You just put it right against the edge and you just go right down the edge. And you could do it on this side, you could do it on the back side, you could do whatever side you want. Look at that. And what I'm gonna, it actually just like turns around. It's like a little swivel. It swivels. You don't have to put a lot of force on it. It just glides. In some areas, you may have a little bit more epoxy than others, and you just may have to go over it more than one time. But other than that, it comes off really nice and clean. Also, I find that the longer it takes for you to demold something, the harder the epoxy edges are. So like these here, they're still somewhat soft, and it's been 24 hours. But if I were to wait a week, it would be really hard, like a really solid plastic. So you really don't want to wait too long to demold it and to clean them up. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the rest of these dominoes. All right, once we're done cleaning off the dominoes, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check out and see what size rhinestone fits the center of my domino. So this is an SS20 stone, which is actually a little too big. That doesn't work. Let's do the SS16. And SS simply stands for stone size. So, and the SS16 fits perfectly right inside the domino hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the holes with GemTac Glue. And this is a precision tip applicator. So what I do is I fill this little bottle up with this glue. It's just so much easier. It's easier to control the portion that you need. So I'm just going to fill it in. And the rhinestone is flat in the back, so you do want to make sure that you fill the hole up with glue so that it actually touches the back side of that rhinestone. These are glass rhinestones. You can also use resin rhinestones. It's okay if you get glue on the front of the glass rhinestone, because once everything here dries, we're going to wash it off and all the excess glue will disappear. These are shaker trays, and what it does is it helps flip the rhinestone in case it's upside down. You shake it and it flips the rhinestone right side up. And I do have these in my shop. I have the trays, and this is a wax pen. This actually helps you pick up the rhinestone. And you can use any color rhinestone that you want. I did the silver because I felt like it was going to complement the purple. But you could do, like, we have these colors. We have blues and we have pinks. We have a lot of little sizes. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fill up the rest of the dominoes with the rhinestones. All right, now the dominoes have all been rhinestoned. What I'm going to do is I'm just gonna use the silver acrylic paint pen. I got this from Amazon. And I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna make a line in between every domino. And I'm gonna use the fine side. And if you wanted to also, you can rhinestone the center. So I rhinestoned here. This is an SS6 stone, if you wanted to do that. It looks pretty, but I think I'm going to go ahead and acrylic pen my way through them. So all you just want to do is just, I like to start in the center and just go from side to side. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to do this to all of the dominoes. And these pens do need to be primed. So when you find yourself a little out, you can just press down on a piece of paper just to blot it. Not too much, because otherwise it'll really begin to flow out. And then just go ahead and redo them. All right, our dominoes are now done. I love the way they turned out. I love the rhinestones in them. They came out really good. And I love that the surface is so nice and smooth. There's no little pocket bubbles anywhere. Even the back sides. The back sides came out really nice and smooth as well. It's just really pretty. If you guys have any questions or comments, just drop them down below. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I did want to make it a little bit different than the one that I made before. And I hope you enjoyed that deburring tool also. Let me know if you tried it and what your thoughts are on it. And that's all. All right, I'll see you next time.